individuals who submitted a poster, please feel free to do that. Again, I just want this time to be where people can get to know each other. And so I would like to start off the event by introducing our Asian Pacific Islander faculty staff who submitted their poster so that we can honor and so that we can pay tribute to their contributions and also get to know them as well. So I will start. Hello, my name is Dr. Monica O. I am currently a postdoc at Counseling and Educational Support Services. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, and I completed my PhD at UMKC, so right across the street, but I'm originally a Dallas native. I know that people are, if you're seeing your view from gallery view, everyone is everywhere. So if people don't mind, I'll ask people on my screen, I'll call out people's names so that they can share. So to the left of me, I have Dr. Zhu. Dr. Zhu, would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. Good morning. I'm Hao Zhu, Associate Professor at the Clinical Lab Sciences in Health Profession. I came to the US about 30 years ago to UT Austin. And then after PhD, I went to Brigham Women's Hospital in Boston for postdoc. And then I came like 14 years ago to set up my own shop, to do research, to mentor PhD students, to mentor graduate master students. And I do basic and preclinical research. I became an American citizen about 20 years ago. That's pretty much it.
Thank you, Dr. Zhu, and welcome. All right. Now to the right of me, I have Dr. Chen.
Hi, everybody. This is Ron Chen. I'm actually new to coming back to KU. I've been here about 6 months. I'm the chair of the Department of Radiation Oncology in the medical school. I came to the US about 32 years ago and then grew up in Topeka, went to KU undergrad, went out for medical training, and now I'm back. Very happy to be part of this group.
Thank you. All right. Well, I also have Anna Nguyen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna Nguyen, and I'm right now working at for School of Nursing as a director of Business and Fiscal Affairs. I joined KU in 2011, and I started working for Cancer Center also in the finance department. My background is I came to US in 2003. I originally come from Vietnam. I worked for a little bit in finance industry and came to Finland for master's degree in finance for 2 years and then came to US for my MBA. And after that, I worked for Sprint a couple of years and then joined KU. So a little bit about me.
Thank you, Anna, and welcome to our Jayhawk coffee break. All right, well, next to Anna, we have Dr. Chito Belches.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm a little late.
No worries.
Here's to the coffee this morning.
Woo.
Well, let me share a little bit something about myself. As I has posted on my profile, I was born in the Philippines. I came here to the US about maybe 30 plus years ago. Actually, I was in a seminary when I came here. I was a religious scholar studying to become a priest, a Catholic priest in New Jersey, Seton Hall University, which is at that time, it was run by the Archdiocese of Newark. And then I finished my philosophy there. I moved to Washington to pursue my theology. And then that's where my calling changed. I met my my wife in DC, and make a long story short, I left, and then we got married, and she was here from Kansas originally, so we decided to move to the Midwest. And since then, I consider myself as a native of Kansas. In Kansas City, I did my nursing here in the U.S. All of it at KU. My bachelor's, my master's, and even my doctorate. I've worked at the hospital for many years, and from the same-day surgery to recovery room to unit educator. So I have quite a bit of experience in terms of nursing education, not only in academia, but also in the hospital side of it. I've really enjoyed nursing since I become a nurse. Although I missed the frontline care, I believe we still participate because we are helping facilitate learning to our future healthcare providers. And pretty much live here in Overland Park since we got married, and we have a 16-year-old. She's a sophomore in high school, and started teaching since 2012. So I'm moving on to teaching graduate courses this semester, and hopefully next semester as well. I like doing both, the undergrad and the undergrad, so you kind of see two worlds at the same time. So that's pretty much about me, and enjoyed my time at the medical center. It seems like it's my second home. Met a lot of wonderful people, not only on the hospital side, but also in the medical center.
Thank you for sharing.
And good morning to all.
Yes, good morning. And welcome to Jayhawk Coffee Break. So I know that sometimes our titles get moved around, but I believe Dr. Yang, you are next. If you could just share a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Frances Young. I am new to the area. I have just started here less than a year ago. I have moved all over the country. So I've lived, I was born and raised in California, Southern California. Then lived in Boston for almost a decade. Then to the southern part of the United States for, and then now here. And I truly believe the Midwest is the best. I really love Kansas City, and it's been such a wonderful place to be. Everybody's so genuinely kind, and so I really appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Yang, and welcome to Jayhawk Coffee Break.
Thank you.
All right. So I see Dr. Zhang, Lisa Zhang next. Oh, your mic is on mute.
Okay, yes. Hi, hello everyone. I'm Lisa Zhang. I grew up in China. I came to United States in 2007. Then I started my postdoc training at KU Medical Center. But I only stay here for half a year. Then I moved to Salt Lake City, joined the University of Utah Medical School. And I finished my postdoc training there in 2014. Then I joined KU Medical Center in the Department of Pharmacology. So right now I'm an assistant professor in that department. So I'm very glad to join today's coffee break.
Thank you. Yes, thank you and welcome. All right, and then I see Dr. Shen.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Chuhua Shen, and I am currently assistant professor at School of Nursing. And I grew up in China, and where I got my bachelor degree in nursing from Shenyang University. And then I came here, I think 15 years ago after my graduation from a college that I came here to do my graduate study. I came here to KU in 2005, and I complete my master's degree and PhD in nursing here at KU School of Nursing. And then I completed a postdoc fellowship here also at KU School of Nursing. Then I really like this place. So many people ask me when I graduated, do you want to move to the East Coast or West Coast? And I debated, and I finally decided to just stay here because it's a great place to work and to study, to work. And I established a great collaboration with my mentors and colleagues. So, and that's why I stay here. This is my first stop in the United States, and it has been that way. So I hope to continue stay here. So I really like this place, and I teach in the both in the DMP and PhD program in School of Nursing, and I also do research, including the clinical and also some laboratory study also. So, and thank you for including me here.
Yes, thank you. And I've been hearing some background noises, so if people could mute themselves so that we don't hear those background noises, that would be great. However, if you would like to share and ask a question, please feel free to unmute yourselves. All right. Well, again, thank you and welcome to our Asian Pacific Islander American Heritage Month Jayhawk coffee break. We do have our posters, and you could access our biographical posters, and it's on our diversity website. Christy, I see that you're back. Could you share that with us?
Of course. Yeah, let me share my screen and I'll show you. So what you will want to do is, let me get this bar out of my way. Is go to kumc.edu and then go to diversity. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then you're on our Diversity at KUMC webpage, and on the left-hand side, you'll see the Asian Pacific Islander American Heritage Month. And then this will show our events page for you. And then the posters are just right here. If you click there, and it will take you to the bios.
Great, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
we do have a few more posters that are going to be added.
We have 4 more coming in right now. Graphics is working on those, so those should be up in the next day or 2.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Those look beautiful. This is Geraldine. Those look really, really nice.
Thanks. Yeah, they turned out really well.
Yeah, I love the colors. It's just beautiful. Very nice.
Great.
Okay. Well, I would like to start off our coffee break. Again, just keeping it more laid back and relaxed. And so if you do have any other questions that you'd like to ask each other, please feel free to do that. But I would like to open up and ask, what brought you to KUMC? Briefly, if you could briefly share about your journey to KUMC.
Well, this is Ron Chen. For me, you know, having grew up in this area and went to undergrad, I really always felt that I was a Jayhawk, and going out for medical training, and then I was on faculty at North Carolina for 10 years. I think there was, I mean, I always came back every year to see family, my parents and my brother for the holidays, and I still had a lot of friends and teachers who were in this area, so there was always a draw back. And so partly I think was wanting to come back to KU and be close to family, and partly was also the opportunity to lead a department here.
This is Chuhua. I can share a little bit. I said that I have been here since I came to the United States. I remember 15 years ago, before I was looking for a graduate school, and I was looking online about all the PhD program in nursing, and I was attracted by the BSM to PhD program that is offered by KU School of Nursing. And there were not many at that time, because you may know that clinical experiences were required for PhD programs. So oftentimes that they require you to have a master degree before you can to pursue a PhD program. So I was looking, and KU School of Nursing was one of the few programs that were available at that time. So that's where I decided to apply, and I didn't know much about KU. I just all based on the information that was available online. So I was brave enough to apply for the school and got admitted to the school, and then start my journey here. Then I really liked the support that I received when I was a brand new international students here from all the faculty staff here. And then I really loved this place. And then that's where I decided, here is my place. And I wanted to make it as my academic home here. So that's why I decided to stay here after I complete my postdoc fellowship and start my tenure track faculty here. So I really love this place.
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Shen. And I agree, for even in my poster, there was a section about what you appreciate most about KUMC. And I'm not sharing this because Dr. Long, who's my boss, is here, and my supervisor, Dr. Sparkman Barnes. But what I really do appreciate about KUMC is just the support, and just to be able to create events and work with people like this. And so that's just something that I really appreciated about KU Med. Yeah. Right. Anyone else have anything that they would like to share?
Yeah, maybe I add a little bit. I echo Dr. Shen's sentiment about Midwest and Kansas City. I grew up in a very metropolitan-like city, Shanghai, and I didn't appreciate the noise and the kind of ultra fast kind of and maybe even some snobbish kind of attitude. But growing up in an educated family, seeing my parents mentoring their students, even in communist China at the time, I always feel like I want to continue their path. So after I complete my PhD and postdoc, I always feel like I want to find a good home. And fortunately at that time, two of my close friends from China convinced me. They were here, and they always told me at the time that it's a hidden gem. So I kind of feel, yeah, I should apply for the job here. And that's exactly what I did and appreciate, because I can mentor my students, both master students and doctoral students. I can develop scientific project with my collaborators, which is a very friendly environment here. Also, the classical music here scene is very good. It's really a hidden gem in Kansas City. And I really appreciate that.
Yes. You know, Dr. Zhu, when I was looking at your profile, I noticed that one of your interests is beer tasting. I was wondering if you have a personal favorite.
Free State in Lawrence.
Okay. I haven't tried that. Oh, I see some applause and thumbs up.
Mine is, I've been trying to think about what brought me to KU, but I keep going back to, it may sound corny and sentimental, but I keep going back to tying it into my love story, personal love story. When I came to Kansas City, I mentioned I met my wife in Washington D.C. and after we got married, we decided to move to KC, and I didn't know anybody here other than my in-laws, so I ended up staying with my in-laws while I was looking for a job. And fortunately, I ended up working as the director of a soup kitchen in Midtown, which is operated by St. James Catholic Church. And so I managed their food pantry and soup kitchen for many years and got burnout and started to discern about what should I do next, because I wanted to do something where I can see I'm making a difference. And at that time, we were living right next to Ronald McDonald's house, which is overshadowing by the KU Med. And every day I kept seeing that hospital and that medical center, and I've been wondering, what is it? What's life inside that building? And not having any clinical background. So my late wife suggested, he said, why don't you check it out and volunteer and see what do they do inside? And I did volunteer and ended up volunteering at same-day surgery, and I just fell in love with the environment and started to pursue going back to school and apply at the KU School of Nursing. And to make a long story short, and that's how I ended up at the medical center. And since then, it's been part of my home. And people that supported me, my late wife who supported me through the school and never really left. Even when I started working at the other hospital, I was still connected somehow by working PRN at the hospital, and then eventually just decided to move back. And ever since, I've been there since then. It's been my second home, and became people that I work with became part of my second family as well. So.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. I agree with you, Kimberly. Very interesting path that you took, Dr. Belchez. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess another question that I would like to ask for those who've completed the posters is, what is your proudest accomplishment so far? And this could be personally and or professionally.
Well, maybe I can start. So I really appreciate the success of my students. I don't have too many. So far I have 4 doctoral students, but one graduated like 2011, one of my first 2. And he also set up his own shop in Yukon after the postdoc in Mayer. Of course, my other 3 are doing well, but not as so-called academically successful as him, but seeing my product. I mean, all the trainings we went through, all the headache we went through together, and also all the difficult time we give to each other at the time, I kind of really appreciate, the effort I put in, really kind of generate some kind of a next generation scientist. And I kind of really appreciate that. I think that professionally, that's my biggest success. Of course, personally, I have 2 kids. My daughter pretty much grew up here, went to Blue Valley North, went to Cornell later, got her PhD later there. Also, she's now assistant professor in University of Hawaii. So I kind of feel like these are my 2 proudest products, one personally, one professionally.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
I think for me, the proudest achievement that I have is, I think, being a Jayhawk. That's probably the proudest moment that I have, being graduated from KU with master and PhD, and now have being a KU Jayhawk graduate, and now have I remember here is my the Jayhawk that I got when I graduated with my PhD, and I kept that since, and now have the opportunity to be in the faculty to mentor the next generation of Jayhawks. So that's I think professionally that's my proudest achievement that I have. And in the meantime, I think personally, I think having two beautiful kids that while on my journey on this tenure track faculty, I think that's my a moment to have them being in my life. So that's my story. So
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Shen. Anyone else?
I think for me is just going to work every day and coming home that you made a difference. It's the pride that you carry with you, knowing that you're a Jayhawk. As I would agree with Dr. Shen. You know, wherever you go, not over even internationally, you carry that pride with you. I don't know. It's just unexplainable sometimes when people ask you, so you know, what do you do and where do you work? You just can't help to emanate that you're proud of where you from. You know, I mean, as a Jayhawk. So I think just being in the campus every day or knowing that you're a Jayhawk is it's always been a proudest moment for me.
Cheeto, this is Geraldine and Chua. I agree with everyone. There's a sense of pride when you've graduated from the University of Kansas, and it goes with you everywhere. And I did not, I've been a Jayhawk for a long time, but the first time I really felt a true deep sense of pride was when I attended a basketball game down in Lawrence. And I don't know if you've all had the chance to do it. I hope everyone has, but it creates an atmosphere that is just unbelievable for the entire, it's not a stadium, what is it, an arena. It is just so amazing. The feeling that you feel while you're in there, that sense of pride that comes and the energy that's there. I mean, when you can just totally, you can palpate that sense of pride that's in the fog during that time. And so it's you know, you're right, it's so amazing, and it goes with you everywhere that you go. And very proud to say that you're a Jayhawk. It's amazing.
exactly, Jerry. I want to echo that. I have been to the KU basketball game a couple times when I was in the program. So that was the product. I think that it was great. And I also want to add that my two kids, one is 4 years old, and my son is 2.5 now. They are automatically Jayhawk now, because they all they know Jayhawks, and they're always proud of whenever they see Jayhawk on the TV or on my t-shirt, and they have their own, so they are Jayhawks. So
yeah. The other thing I wanted to point out, and I've heard, it's been a common thread that I've heard through many of you who have talked, is about the sense of pride that you have in your children. That is so amazing. Coming from someone who doesn't have any kids, it just feels so good to hear you all talk about your kids and how much you love them, and just beyond that, just creating the next generation of scientists says a lot about you. So I wanted to thank you personally for just wanting to create the next generation of scientists, but also demonstrating for us, all of you who have talked about your children, and Cheeto about your late wife, and all of those things, you're allowing us into your personal space right now. So I just wanted to say thank you, because I am a firm believer, you know, work is going to be here. Family is first. I'm just getting so much of that when I'm hearing you talk, just validating that idea that, you know, that for many of us it's God, family, then all other, and it's definitely coming through in the words that you're using. So thank you for who you are and for loving your family so much, but also the next generation that you're preparing.
I agree, Dr. McGee. Thank you. Yeah. So another question that I would like to ask everyone, and I guess this is a personal reason why I would like to ask this question is because I'm currently a postdoc, but I do see myself working at a university in the future. And I just wanted to ask, as an Asian Pacific Islander staff or faculty, have you noticed any obstacles or barriers in the way to your success, and how were you able to overcome these barriers?
Probably I can jump in. So I came to the States 1989, as a 24-year-old. And at that time, US was the center of everything scientifically, political system-wise, and it's the center of power for everything. And I was a very naive foreign student. Even my English was okay, but I was very nervous. So growing up, I mean, kind of adapting to a new country with the culture shock, I wasn't sure how to handle it. So I kind of feel the kindness really from not Asian friends, but essentially from my Caucasian friends, my mentors, my lab mates, make a huge difference. At that time, I was in Austin, Texas. It was a college town. So I kind of feel like that settled me down in the States and made me really feel comfortable. Yeah, this is a real good a melting pot, so-called, because I learned all that from textbook when I was in China. Of course, over the decades I was here, I continued to experience the kindness from not only from my PhD mentor, from my postdoc mentor in Boston in Harvard Medical School, also my colleagues here in the Kansas City. I kind of feel, yeah, the spirit of America is still there. So I kind of feel, the obstacles to me is not totally racial or political. It's more about the struggle with a kind of academic success, which is true for everyone. Because you need to produce, you need to be successful, you need to show your progression. But to me, the kindness really make a huge difference in relieving that obstacle for me personally. So I kind of feel, I really wish that America will continue that way. Of course, now in the past several years, things changed quite a lot, but I kind of feel deep down, the spirit probably is still there, and I hope it's there, and I will for sure do my best to continue that. Despite the current situation, current kind of downfall, I guess.
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Zhu. Yeah.
This is Chuhua. I want to share that I think probably it's different experience than the other, for those who grow up here. I think as international students start with, and I think language barrier probably is the biggest barrier for me when I first came here, because even though we learn English at school, but I think when you were immersed in all English speaking environment, that was challenging at the beginning for me. And especially I started with a PhD program at that time, and then I have to overcome the fear of open up and then talk in English and communicate. And I think like did the bad translation, first translated into Chinese, what does that mean, and translate it back to English. I think that was the biggest barrier that I have during my first year PhD program. And I remember I was under a lot of stress and lost, I think 15 pounds, something like that. So I was, because I was like under being home and didn't know many people. didn't know any big people here at first when I started, and then I gradually, I think receiving the support from school and making new friends here, and also family calling from home, all that helped make me through. And I think for academic success, that I think the support from the faculty and the mentors is a great help that to help me through this. And so that's what I think, that if you want to start a position or a new place, I think finding the support that you will have, resources that will help you to be successful will be very, very important. And have a great mentor, because even though I am a faculty now, I also have a research mentor that helped me for the tenure track, because there will be lots of demands for the tenure track faculty, and the research mentor and the mentor will be there to help you which ones that you can say no to, because you just have so much time. You won't be able to do everything. And because people will ask you do this and that, but that mentor will help you to say, it's okay to say no to this, then you need to focus on your research, on publication and grants, all that. So I think having that mentor will be tremendous help. So I am very fortunate to have such a mentor studying in my PhD program and then my postdoc fellowship. And now Dr. Pierce is my research mentor when I am on the track. So I think that's the biggest help. So.
Yes, yeah, thank you for sharing, Dr. Shen. And I could see how Dr. Zhu and Dr. Shen, I'm not an international student, but I have a lot of international student friends, and they still share the same concerns today about adjusting to a new culture, to new norms, and how that could be a really big stressor. And they told me that, with visas, that's always a huge concern, but being able to find that support is important, and that has helped them to get through. Yeah. Anything else?
I just wanted to say that I do feel very welcomed by everybody, and I'm really thankful for that. And one of the things that I have experienced being in the South is that I've never experienced before, because growing up in California, in Southern California, we've always experienced and celebrated diversity. So one of the things that I have experienced was really being invisible, and not only invisible, but almost being run over by cars all the time. It's just very odd. I've never understood that, even on campus. Like, being in a more liberal environment where, education, diversity should be celebrated. But oftentimes there are a lot of other barriers academically. I think that being a female and a minority has always been definitely a challenge. And I haven't had the kind of words of wisdom to share yet in terms of how to overcome that. I've always been, not minority enough, because I'm not an underrepresented minority, to be able to qualify for different, things that you might be able to for NIH funding and things like that. But I've always been told you don't need that, And so and I do believe that, and I don't like to perpetuate any stereotypes. I do feel that there is something invisible as well that is very hard to overcome. And so I do, I'm sure you will be successful, Monica, but I still don't have very good words of wisdom to impart. But I think that, finding the right place for you, a right fit, is very important. And so I do feel that at my later stage of this career, that I do feel that you can trust your instincts. Oftentimes I always think that maybe I'm being a little too sensitive, about what people say or what they think of me, or why is it that other people are getting promotions but I'm not. But I feel that I am qualified or even more so with my qualifications. But yeah, there's these invisible barriers that I have no way of understanding how to break them down yet. So, but yeah, the one thing I do want to say is that your culture, your heritage, your language, or languages are so important. I think that being somebody that, even though I was born in the United States, I still hold on to so much of that is rooted in me. And so I think that I can go back to that and be able to know who I am in that way and who I've evolved into. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Yin. I agree that, you know, in the United States, there's that the model minority stereotype that's usually you can see placed on Asian Pacific Islander individuals, and you know, a stereotype is a stereotype. We can't generalize that to all Asian Pacific Islander individuals, and I sometimes see that stereotype playing out today, but being able to, you know, just educate people and inform that no, that's a generalization, and that's actually doing more harm than good. Even though it's seen as a positive stereotype, it's still a stereotype. Yes. So thank you everyone for your feedback, and it was really great to get to know our individuals who are highlighted in our biographical posters. Is there anything that people would like to ask each other, or any burning questions?
Monica, I think Victoria asked a really good question in the chat. She wanted to know, she said, for fun, what is everybody watching, listening to, or reading? So I think that's a good question.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, Victoria.
I'll start off. I'm an avid gardener. That's something that my wife imparted on me. So we have a big garden in the back. It's so exciting to see that the peas and the tomatoes and cucumbers are sprouting. So it's so nice to see that when you planted them, there's nothing, and now they're sprouting and growing. And this weather is really wonderful for this plant. So I'll take a picture sometimes and maybe show it to everyone. I do love basketball. I'm craving it because we can't play outside or even indoors. That's what keeps me going and help with cardiovascular exercise. I have a group of young and older guys who meet twice a week, and we just played for 2 hours. It's all fun and games. So that's, and of course, you know, helping out my daughter with some of the stuff that she does in school, and traveling. We love to travel. Hopefully when the phase out is implemented, we can plan some traveling after school is over.
As an epidemiologist, I've been watching COVID-19. There's a new, I'm not sure if it's a series or just a mini documentary that has been on Netflix that started last week. And so it just traces different epidemics around the world historically. And so I found that to be very interesting to give us perspective about what to prepare for in the future. And I think that one of the things that my research has been really centering around is patient-centered health outcomes, and not only that, person-centered health outcomes. So understanding how everybody's doing, how their quality of life is now, and how it's changing. So we're launching a survey today in collaboration with the School of Nursing at University of Kansas, KUMC, that we're gonna start looking at that among long-term care healthcare workers, because they're one of the noticed in the media, and there's just such an explosion of cases there, so all around the country. So I think that if you get a chance and you have 20 minutes to watch that, I really encourage you to maybe take a look.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Hello. Yeah, I can talk a little bit about my time. And so we have a lot of the Zoom meeting online, especially like research seminars. So almost every day we need to spend at least 1 hour to watch those Zoom meetings, the seminars. I feel like it's very helpful. And we do have a liver research in the leader. They organize the correlation seminar. So yeah, even without yes, for the on-site the seminar, but we can learn a lot of research topics that has been done in the other universities. I feel that is very helpful.
So if anyone doesn't have any other question, I can ask one final question because I know we only have about 10 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask each other? Okay. Well, one final question that I'd like to ask everyone is, what would you like to see more of on campus? And I kept it broad on purpose, but what would you like to see more of?
I can share a little bit. I used to work at Sprint, and one thing that at Sprint we also have quite a bit of big community of Asians. We every year we put together it kind of like a festival, so where people bring some food and some people bring their performance from their own country, and it was pretty neat and nice that people come out and introduce and have a table about their country. And I haven't seen we done it for a while. Maybe I missed it. I'm too busy in my own office punching the number. But if we have something like that, it would be, I think, be really promote and bring more people aware and know that within the campus we have how many people come from different country, and just some thought there.
Anna, this is Geraldine, will you just shoot me an email about that, your idea, please?
Okay.
Just so you know, during International Education Week, Anna, there is a day, it's called the Global Fair, and anyone can sign up to have a table, and it's often led by students and postdocs, but occasionally we have full-time, administrators or faculty also to participate. For example, Dr. Karen Schell and Lisa Trujillo with respiratory care, they have done a table for Ghana. They're not from Ghana, but they take a trip there every year, and their Ghanaian students in the respiratory care program were visiting during that time. So we do have that. It's always the week before Thanksgiving is always designated as International Education Week. And so that is one of the things we do. And honestly, it's really well attended. We probably get easily 300 to 400 people who go through on that day to learn about the different, countries and cultures. And we serve different food, but also the individuals who set up the tables make like a dessert from their country or some finger food, appetizer, something to share as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that we as an employee, like the staff or faculty can join, and I recall that some just for student, and good to know that we could if we want to do and join.
Yep. I'll make sure you know about it this coming year.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
we get to have it.
Yeah, thank you, Kim.
Okay, well, I want to be mindful of the time, and I do have I would like to share our future events with everyone. But before we do that, I also want to give a quick shout out to all the Asian Pacific Islander American Heritage Month committee members who are with us today. So we have Dr. Belches, we have Kimberly Connolly, we have Dr. Zhu, Dr. Shen, Dr. Ronald Chen, and then Dr. Sadi. And then we also had Dr. Wan Choi earlier, and then Dr. Lynette Sparkman-Barnes, but they had to leave a little early, and Diana as well, so, and Dr. McGee. And so thank you, committee members, for also being able to join for today's event. I would like to end things with just informing people about our future Asian Pacific Islander American Heritage Month events. And so, Christy, do you want to share that? Could you screen share
Sure.
the flyer?
Yeah.
So our Jayhawk coffee break, this is a way to kick off the month, but we also do have our biographical posters. We showed the link earlier, so please feel free to check that out. Tomorrow, we have our community conversations, discrimination and racism around COVID-19. Dr. Sparkman-Barnes and I, and our co-presidents, Diana and Beth from Student Diversity Council, will be having a open discussion and presentation on this topic. So if you're available tomorrow from 11 to 11:45, please feel free to join. And this information is also on the website. And then on May 20th, Dr. Zhu is our research subcommittee chair, but we are hosting a research day. And so this is a time where you can learn about the research currently done by our Asian Pacific Islander staff, students, faculty, researchers, and then we also have a keynote address from Dr. Ronald Chen. And we will have more information about that later on, but feel free to write it in your calendar that May 20th is our research day. And then finally, Christy, if you could scroll back up, there is a PBS special on Asian Americans on May 11th and 12th at 7 p.m. You can watch the live stream, but there's also a trailer preview that you can watch. So this isn't part of our events, but if you are interested in learning more about the Heritage Month and the special done by PBS, please feel free to watch it. Committee members, am I missing anything or anything that you would like to add on?
I just want to take this opportunity to thank Monica's leadership in making this project a success. So thank you so much for your leadership, Monica.
Thank you, Doctor. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And just wanted to share again that, you know, this could have been done with the help of our committee members and your support. So, and Dr. McGee, your leadership as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Monica.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So Chris, oh, sorry.
Dr. McGee also will deserve a lot of a compliment because she really took the lead to the Heritage Month starting this year. So I really appreciate her leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Zhu. That means a lot. You know, you guys, words, I've learned the last several weeks that words really mean a lot and people need to hear when they're doing a good job. So I know you guys hear me saying thank you and giving kudos a lot, but you never know what somebody is dealing with or going through. So whenever you can, encourage someone. So thank you, Dr. Zhu.
All right. Well, I really enjoyed everyone's presence today for our Jayhawk coffee break. I know it was really early in the morning, but you know, it was great to see everyone's faces and also to learn more about our Asian Pacific Islander faculty and staff. I hope that you'll have a chance to look over the posters and please feel free to attend any of our future events. Well, that's everything I had to say. We thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a good rest of your week. Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.